Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. We are Millennial Mom. If you don't know who is who, I'm Millennial. This is Mom.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I am Mom or Kay from Millennial Mom, and today we're going to talk about a 90-day Fiancé, Before the 90 Days, Season 6, Episode 3, Overboard. Now, before I even talk about the subscribe and all that other stuff, happy Father's Day to all the fathers and uncles, in-betweens, bonus dads, granddads, grandfathers, pop-pops, all that. And also happy Juneteenth. So, all right, now before I begin, please don't hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share, and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. So, welcome to the channel and hello to everyone on the replay. Of course, when I go live, I get a text, right? So, all right, hopefully everyone got a chance to watch the show. If you didn't, hopefully this review will bring you up to speed. So, on today's show, or the 90 Day Before the 90 Day show, featured Amanda and Razvan. Also, Tyray, and is it really Carmela or is it Christian? Geno and Jasmine, Riley and Violet, and Misha Nicola. And I think I said Misha Nicola. Now, Misha, I don't know. I don't know. She has found herself again, so I'm gonna reserve comment on Miss Misha till we get to her because she's giving a vibe. I know she wants to give the vibe that she is back in the church, recommitted, rededicated her life. But there's a side to her that's like, how are you gonna maintain what you're gonna maintain? But we'll get to it. So hopefully everyone watched it. So let's see who's in the building. We have Rory. Hi, Rory. And Tamika, hey girl, hey, yes, happy Juneteenth. And Sharon, hello. Let me see what the comments are. You say last night's episode was something else. Yes. You also say Geno getting to bed with his street clothes. Right. Geno is ridiculous. And so's Jasmine. And who goes to bed with their shoes on? It can't make sense. There's no making sense of how we did it. So let me just give a quick overview. So I think Amanda is coming to a little bit of reality with, yes, my husband passed away. He's only been gone 4 months, and maybe I'm not ready. Maybe I'm not ready to be intimate. Maybe I'm not ready to be away from my children, things like that. I think she's getting a little bit of a wake-up call, and I think it's really starting to hit her. I think it only really hit her when her son called, though. Because before that, she was giddy and seemed like she was happy. But when her son called, that tipped the scale some for her. Razvan, he's not showing any real empathy. He's giving you'll be okay. It'll be all right. I'm here for you. No, don't worry about it. I'm like, that is not how this works. No. First of all, like we've discussed here on this chat, I'm sure everyone has discussed everywhere else, those kids are small. Even if they were like preteens, teenagers that would able to be process it still would fall under the category of their younger children, but just slightly older. But these are like, one probably looked like the little boy is maybe pre-K and his sister kindergarten, first grade. Like these are young kids. Yes, they know dad is no longer here. But do they really know dad is no longer here? Do they get put two and two together? He's in heaven, but maybe he'll come back through the door again. So yeah, Amanda, I don't know. She really is giving me pause. I'm disappointed in Amanda. I mean, I don't want to, like I know her personally, right? I don't want her to experience more heartache on top of her grief, but it looks like that's the road she's going down. And that's not fair for those kids that she still has to look after, is what I'm saying. So, but anyways, it looks like they had their first night together. Apparently, Razvan thought that they was gonna be intimate and get it in. That clearly didn't happen. But the next morning when we saw them, he told us in confessional that Amanda was kissing on his neck and doing other things, but they just didn't do the do, you know, and Amanda's all like, you know, and then Razvan, it's like, why would you have socks on in the bed? Like, that's weird to have socks on with sex. Hey, some people may care, some people don't, but clearly he does. But did y'all notice those lights around his bed, right? So he's a social media influencer. So I was like, you know, what if he low-key films it, regardless if it's for him or what, or maybe he's got an OnlyFans? Because you know how he's shown his modeling pictures, whether it be like in the shower. Remember that scene in the shower last week or so? And just different things he does for cash, because that's what he said out of his own mouth. You never know unless Amanda's with it, but I wouldn't be surprised if he popped something on social media. Let me read some more chat. Hey, Cynthia. How are you? Tamika says she is not ready and he is selfish. Oh, he's selfish. I think his agenda is different. You know, I think he's looking forward to getting a visa, because that's what we talked about, because clearly she didn't know. And then really and then the kids are after the fact. So yes, that's selfish, but I think that she would be the vessel to get to the States, even if it's temporarily. Sharon say Amanda needs to go heal and get into therapy with her children if necessary. Definitely so. She knows it too. She knows it. That phone call that she got from her son right before they went out to look around the city. Yeah, she felt that. Tamika, you say, and asking let me see the bedroom is too much. Right. Okay. The kid. Exactly. Yeah, so I'm gonna drop the link in a minute. But Razvan really wants Amanda to enjoy the day out. But just like Amanda said, like, how can I enjoy the day if I have my kids on my mind and, you know, she's just getting over the process of being with another man, regardless of intimate or not, and she doesn't want her children, if this doesn't work out, to get attached to somebody that's not their dad, so that's someone else who went away. But you know what? Again, I fault Amanda, because Amanda's the one, before she even went there to Romania, put those kids on FaceTime so they know who he is, right? As if he's always been in their lives. So this falls on Amanda. This don't fall on Razvan. Razvan, it falls on him because of the moral issue of the situation. But no. This is Amanda for trying to rush to replace, in quotes, their dad with another father figure. How would you know in 4 months? And like the sister said, they broke up off and on along the way. In 4 months, you broke up multiple times. So how's this a relationship for you? And then going over to Romania to see if you can connect together. No, it might just be a sexual spark, but what were the reasons why you're breaking up in the first place? So yeah, Amanda, she needs to pull it back around. Now, when Razvan, you know, when they had drinks, he's like, oh, I have something for you. And Amanda was like, no, no. You know, did she say she wanted a ring? Did she say she wanted to come back engaged? She said that to her sister, right? So even though it wasn't a ring, it was a key to the house. Why would she be like, no, this is what you wanted. Don't backpedal now because your son called. Listen, your son and daughter are going to say things to you along the way because they're so young. They sleep with the urn of their dad. The urn of the dad goes everywhere, in the car, probably restaurants, wherever. There's going to be many questions for many years. So this is just a small little drop in the bucket. So Amanda, it's hard to watch because for me and from what y'all saying in the chat, know that she needs to grieve some more, and no, there's no timeline on grief. But I can tell you right now, just in general, I think most of us will agree, 4 months, nothing. That's nothing. Because when did she meet Razvan? In the time that she was grieving her husband and trying to, you know, get her kids on the, you know, healthy too. When did this all come in? If they broke up several times in 4 months. It's not like she said they've been together for a year. Her husband passed. She met Razvan. They've been together 4 months and her kids have talked to him. She's already taken a trip, blah, blah, blah. So when, you know what I'm saying? So do we kind of feel sorry for Amanda or do we not? I'm bordering on the not, because, you know, she needs to know, like, this, you just don't jump like that. But at the same time, I really want her to protect her heart and her children, because if she can't protect herself, how she protect her kids? Just saying. Let me read some comments and I'll drop the link. To make you say she sent her kids up to fail and lose another father. Mm-hmm. And Amanda, Dolores, you say Amanda need to heal first before jumping into any relationship. Exactly. All right. So let me drop the link and go from there. Here we go. Dolores, you also say Amanda really does not look happy. She left her kids for 3 weeks. She doesn't look happy, does she? She didn't look happy before she went. I think she just wants to see if she has a connection. But I think she's also missing, longing that male companionship. That's exactly what it gives. She's missing the male companionship. But for the sake of her children, no, I'm like, I can't see it. So that was that. All right, here we go. Backstage. Boom.
You know me, I'm like,
Hey, girl.
hey, girl, hey.
How you doing?
Good. Happy Juneteenth.
Yes, happy Juneteenth. Does that your shirt say it? Free-ish.
Free-ish. Juneteenth. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I like
one of my many ones that I just made.
Oh, you make shirts?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. She said that. Okay. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think about Amanda? I keep saying Amanda and Razvan. What do you think about that?
Oh, that's poor little Tink Tink. She, she got to get it together. And she knew when the little boy said, or what the child said, my daddy's gone. And I was just like, and then she, you can tell that she was like, I probably made the wrong decision coming here. And then when she asked him, like, oh, what if I leave early? And he was just like, no, you can't leave early. How he was just saying, I'm like, that's really selfish. These are babies.
Right.
And he's 26, so he's kind of young.
True, but he knew the deal going that she had kids anyways. And just the fact of clearly he knows the type of relationship she came out of, being a widow, young kids. In this 4-month time, they did a lot of talking and whatever was going on. Like, how do they do all this in 4-month span if your husband just passed away? I'm like, how soon after did you meet him? Like a week, 2, 3? Because technically, 16 weeks?
I said same day? Who knows?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we have someone else backstage. Are you ready backstage? Yes? Okay. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So what do you think about Amanda and Razvan?
I think he's up to something. He just only wants to use her to come to the States because he says he wants to be a big actor. But the thing is just like for the odds for him to make it in acting is very small unless if he decides to star in Hallmark movies, which will never happen. Or he decides to go on any Netflix shows, which will never happen, right? It was just kind of funny, and I was gonna point it out to you guys. It's just like Amanda wasn't ready to have sex with him, but they were in the same bed. They cuddled, and then the next morning he woke up with a hickey that like the cameraman zoomed in on it real quick, and I'm just like, she sucked off the man's neck.
Yeah, I mean, some people, I think Amanda's giving mixed signals. I think she wants to move forward, but emotionally, she can't.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the kids weren't in the way, emotionally, I mean, if you're with someone for that long, and then he you have to use just here, because it's not like a year. Anything less than a year is just.
Yeah, his body has barely been like cold in the ground for a long period of time. It's just like, because I think somebody zoomed in on the timeline, because I think somebody zoomed in on Amanda's phone and saw it was really August, and she was saying, "Oh, we met in the spring, and my husband died in the spring," and I'm just like, "But your phone says August." I don't know. I thought it was just like weird because I just heard that this morning, and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Actually, slightly, it's not a spoiler, but again, remember, I find a lot of information. People magazine, it said that there are discrepancies in her story about when she met him. I actually saw that in the last show. There's already discrepancies in the story. This is on people. So, you know, her husband may not even been a month, allegedly, that she met him.
I think it was probably a lot less time than that, because I know for anybody who lost someone, you are there's 7 stages of grieving, and you're in a grieving, you're in a part of like disbelief that the person's gone, right? Because she was in that stage of grief, but but at the other hand, she didn't want to be alone. And I think her sister brought up a good point. It's just like, you just lost your husband. You should be focusing more on your children, right?
But
and,
you know what,
and helping getting yourself to heal.
Yeah, but with that though, it's like, you think of anybody, this is for everybody. Think of someone in your life who's a little bit hard-headed. You can tell them the sky is blue, but they don't care. They're going to do it anyways. This sounds like it's an Amanda, because if she really, really wanted to heal and protect her children, she wouldn't even have went to Romania right now. Because when he suggested that he wanted to come over, right?
Yeah.
He's like, oh my God, why did you tell me this too soon? It can't be both ways. It can't be, you know what I'm saying? It can't be, you can go, but yet, you know, I'm just only coming for a little bit because I got to get home to my kids, but you can't come because they don't need to know. So she's sending mixed signals. It's too soon. And her storyline, I think there's a little bit more to her storyline too. We already know what his is. He's a model. He's an actor. He wants to make it big. He wants to be from the 80 superheroes, Arnold Schwarzenegger and all them. That's what he wants. So we'll leave her. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like you said, there was discrepancies in her story, but in his as well.
Yeah,
because you could notice that like the interaction with him and Vienna, his friend, was something more.
Well, I mean, he's a social media. I mean, he's not unattractive. He's got the body. I'm sure he gets hit on anyways. You know, that's kind of like the one of the 90-Day Paradise. You know, he on a cruise ship, he's attractive, young, you know, people are going to hit on you. I think that's his thing based on the industry that he's in. So, but anyways, because I'm not going to keep y'all. Go ahead. One last thing on this. Go ahead.
Yeah, you got to, I think it's because I think this is something that a lot of actors and actresses, models and everything else said. They're like, they have to portray that they're single and available to get more people, get more male and females to be, you know, be hooked on, right? But but I think with Amanda, she's still hurting. You can't say that she's not hurting. You could,
she's hurting. Yeah.
You could see in her eyes and her body, like her demeanor, that she's still hurting. You know?
Yeah, but do we feel sorry for Amanda because she put herself in this situation? That's sympathy because she reached out to the show. However she got on the show, she's on the show. She knows what she left behind. So do we show her a little bit of yes, I have empathy because her husband passed and the kids, but do we have sympathy because she put herself in the situation? I'm leaning more towards no now. I'm leaning towards like no. In
the beginning, I did show her some sympathy, but as the episode progressed, there was just like a lot of things that seemed really off. I don't know, Tamika, if you noticed that as well, but there was a lot of things that seemed really, really off. But it could have just been me just over analyzing just the whole thing.
You think so, Tamika?
Yeah. She knew what she was getting herself into.
Yeah.
And I don't like to be like this because but whatever happens to her, she brings it on herself because she knew better to lead them babies.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to kids, all bets are off, especially when it comes to your children, especially when they're that young and that impressionable and they're still grieving and understanding, you know, death. So,
yeah. That's
Shame on her.
Yeah, that's a consensus. Yeah. All right. So let's move to Tyray. Is it Carmela? Is it Christian? Who is it?
It's Christian. It's not Carmela.
I'm teasing, but Tyray clearly still thinks it's Carmela. He thinks maybe it was a misunderstanding. When he said that, you know, even though the producers showed the text messages and he heard the voice, he's like, well, maybe her boyfriend or husband got wind of us. I'm like, no.
So did you see the look on the producer's face as soon as he said it's like it might be a mistake? The producers are like, are you kidding me right now?
I mean, he's in his own world.
The whole man.
Yeah.
What you think about that, Tamika? What do you think?
Poor little Tink Tink.
Oh my
I just
goodness.
want to give him a hug because it's like, dude, give it up. Where's Neve and Cammy? Because they can find out who it is. That's what we need.
Well, I don't think we need them now because I was recently teasing the Jasmine show. Shout out to them, by the way. Because I was like, no, because the producers already found out he was catfished. It's just does Tyray believe it's a catfish? Because you made a good point about that last week, Tamika, that he already went to Barbados, and I forgot that point.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't show up. So now we already know he's going to go again, right? Because just in case the husband found out about us 2 years later, you know, maybe this is another one just on the other side of the street where it's like, do you feel sorry for them?
No, he's sitting more at the back of the school bus looking in the windows.
Oh my goodness.
He's in the back of the school bus looking in the windows.
You just need a hug.
He definitely does need a hug for sure. But I don't know. It's like, you know, this is like really two sides of the spectrum. With Amanda, we don't feel sorry for her. But with Tyray, I want to feel sorry for you, Tyray. I want to. I really do. Because I know you've been catfished. Everyone knows you've been catfished. But you have to know. You know what I'm saying? Even though I know the show was taped before, it's like, are you that much blinded by love and maybe not a true serious relationship that you feel like any excuse is the right excuse, you know? So I want to so bad, but I can't.
If it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a catfish.
Ooh, it's a catfish. Dolores says, if she is afraid, I'll talk about Amanda. If she's afraid of being alone, she could have met someone here in the States close to her. I feel for the children.
I do too.
Yeah, especially now. Like, how is it that, well, yes, I do. I was going to say how is it that she found him, but she found him on like someone's TikTok, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sent them a rose, and then he can turn it around and turn it into money.
Yeah.
Okay. Dolores also said, why is Tyray going back to Barbados? Because he feels it's a misunderstanding. Dolores, did y'all see the text message where it said also too that Christian gave the producers that they were doing it for money?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they were broke.
For whatever reason. So.
And the thing was, it wasn't a large amount of money that he sent. It was like $50 to $100. So if you convert that, it might be quite a bit, but it depends on how much the dollar is in Barbados, right?
Well, I'm sure
but
the
it won't be that
stronger.
much.
Well, the dollar, I'm sure, is stronger in Barbados, you know, so.
But he was sending that monthly. Over 5
monthly,
years.
not like bi-weekly, just monthly. So they thought they would be getting more money from him, but they were just only getting money once a month. So it's like, oh, okay. You know, like we'll ghost him again, you know?
Let me convert it. Let me see. How much is a dollar worth in Barbados? Oh. How much is the dollar worth in Barbados? So for every $1, it's $2.
Oh, okay.
So it's still, I mean, still for living in the States. So 100 would be 200, 50 is 100. I mean, that's still not a lot for us, but depends on how you're living, the type of, you know, neighborhood, you know, how your family.
Yeah, but I think Christian thought that he was getting more money sent to him from the States. That's what I think.
Maybe. Failed foster dog mom says denial and money are strong motivation to get the ruse going. Yeah. I guess. And what else? What else you say? Cynthia says, I wish Tyray take the blinders off and realize he's been catfish. He's annoying me now. Right. I mean, his sister, what's her name? Lashanti, excuse me.
Lashanti, yeah.
She tried to do the reverse of the pictures and nothing came up. I don't find that odd because, tell you why. Because until I started doing YouTube and putting our stuff on Instagram, me and my daughter, I wasn't on no social media at all. So if that was me, nothing would pop up. So I don't find that necessarily far-fetched. You know what I'm saying? You have to be active on social media, but
yeah, because I think on the trailer they found that her pictures were really from an escort site. So
I thought they didn't pop up. I thought it was like no social media. That's what I heard.
Oh yeah, they were saying in a trailer. And it was for somebody said, we're like, oh yeah, there are pictures of a female from an escort site. And I'm like, okay, if it's pictures of a female from an escort site, it would just pop up right away on the Google search, where it's just like escort site, so and so's picture. But I don't know.
Well, either way, it's Christian, and maybe we'll see who Christian is. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it really is that Nigerian. Would you say the Nigerian phone bank? Is that what you said to Mika before?
Right. Dr. Phil will find them. Yeah, they in somebody's basement in the phone bank.
Okay,
it's possible.
It's possible. Well, that's it on Tyray till he makes it to Barbados, because he really don't have a storyline right now. It's just still treading water with that. So till he get a storyline,
I think Tyray is just like this last episode that's coming next week, and then I think he's done, and they're gonna introduce the next couple.
Yeah, there's two more people to introduce. Yeah. So I think, like we discussed last week, I think Tyray definitely out of here because there's nothing real to discuss, and I think it's gonna be Riley too, like we discussed. So.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move to who's the toss up next, because you know what, they're both. Let's just jump.
I would say Riley, because I have like a lot of choice words about Geno going to bed in the street clothes and everything else, and shoes.
Geno, I got a lot of stuff written down for Geno too, but we can do Riley and Violet. But let me read another comment. Dolores says he sent money monthly for 4 years and never video chatted, and talk definitely is a red flag. I still feel bad. Dolores,
I'm about to be a catfish out here in these streets.
Dolores, you know what? I gotta give it to Dolores. Dolores likes the underdog. You know what I'm saying? She likes the underdog, and I'm like, oh my gosh. She's like, I like him. I'm like, oh, okay. So we'll let her have that. She loves the underdog. So Riley and Violet. Let me say this first. So after 2 years of not seeing her, he decided he was not going to go through with a private investigator for right now, and he's finally going to Vietnam. You saw those purses and things he's going to take because it's her birthday and the pearls. I'm like, you're taking that for her and her daughter, but that's cool. I don't have a problem with that. But the problem that I have is he still says he wants to, and I get it, he still wants to continue on with the relationship because he feels like when he gets over there, he'll be able to understand her more. But his friend, what was her name? Alexa was like, oh no, you don't see the red flags? Because I would be that friend. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be that friend. I am that friend. I'm like, wait a minute. Because if you tell me your business, you're telling me in confidence, yes. So you want my opinion. So I'm going to give you my opinion. My personality, I'm telling you, is either black or it's white. There's very few gray. It's hard to convince me of a point if I'm really focused on one. I'm just telling you right now. You know what I'm saying? That's my personality. So with Riley, now I know one of the things I couldn't put my finger on, and a friend said, no, he said it. He said he would rather be an over understander or something like that, right? He'd rather like overly know something than under know. I'm like, that's what it is. That's what it is. You're pushy. You're pushy. I don't like that about your personality. He's too pushy to the point where at a fault where it's like comes across negative, in my opinion. That's how I view his personality. He's very negative to me. It doesn't seem like he's understanding. Doesn't seem like he's like open to any suggestion. You know what I'm saying? He just doesn't seem like he seems like he's the my way or the highway type dude. He don't seem like he's like open, receptive to anything. I think that's part of my personality that doesn't like his on screen.
I think it's just because of the fact that he got burned so bad from the previous relationship. He's just waiting for the other shoe to drop.
But that's true for a lot of people. And in my opinion, if you go once you're at a particular age, like once you're like 30 and up, when you know better about things and mistakes should be few and far between, you should know that everyone is not the same. Everyone shouldn't treat you like your past relationship, And if they do, they're not for you. You have to keep going forward. You can't just walk around that same circle like, oh, so-and-so hurt me, so the next one will too.
But the thing is, the other biggest clue, and I think because Riley told his friend about this.
Oh, hey, Sass. Hold on. Okay. Hey, Sass. If you don't know, Sass Gale is also a YouTuber.
I love Sass. Hey Sass.
Go ahead, Rory.
Like, even because I'm pretty sure Riley told his friend about the 150 text messages that Violet sent to his dad, right? Yeah. And that was one of the biggest red flags, because even the dad was like, if this girl really loved you as much as she claimed, why is she messaging me so hard? Like, why is she messaging me so frequent? about you. Like, if she's mad at you about something, you two have a conversation about it, right?
But you know what? But that's I mean, I get it, and she shouldn't be doing that. That is red flag, every red flag in the book. But to me, that's not all the Riley's things. He knows deep down there's something he's not saying. To hire a private investigator because someone texted your dad isn't a reason to hire a private investigator, to me.
Exactly, because I'm pretty sure the private investigator was baffled that he got hired, and the reason why he got hired.
He didn't hire him.
No,
he didn't hire this private investigator? I thought you mentioned that. Maybe I missed it.
Go ahead, fill in the blank. He didn't hire her, and
no, he didn't hire him. He said that he has him in his back pocket, so if he needed him in the future, and it was basically to find out if she was still married, because she was so evasive about that, and she wasn't really telling him the truth, or so he thought. He wasn't telling him she wasn't telling him what he wanted to hear. She was telling him her truth. So, that's why he didn't hire him. Yeah,
I don't know. I always said in the beginning, there's something off with Riley. I just can't put my finger on it yet.
Right,
but there's something really, really sus about him. Like, I don't know if he did something in the past to someone. He's just really, really off. He's a creeper. He's older creeper, and then he's just like, I don't know if it's like narcissistic or just have a habit of gaslighting. That would just say one thing and do another. But there's something really, really off about him, and I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah, I think as the show goes along, maybe we'll see, but I don't know. I can't judge his personality either. I don't like the energy. I just don't know what it is. I just don't like it.
He has that I always have to be right type attitude. And it's my way or no way.
Yeah.
You know, like when she said, hey, you know, he was like, what are we doing? She's like, you know, I got some business to take care of. He was like, oh, hey, hold on. I ain't come all this way for me not to spend time with you. They're like, dude, she still got a life over here.
Right.
Exactly.
But that's next episode. That's next week.
Yeah.
But when we did see Violet, though, listen, Violet too. Violet's giving me the, okay, so maybe I shouldn't think this way, but you know, I watched the show just like you guys. I'm thinking now, if she is really doing something to you, their personalities also don't seem like they mix to me, because she said it's okay to be like, you know, I'm a woman, I'm strong, take care of my family. Cool. I do too. A lot of women do as well. Okay. But she said that she's always right. She's never wrong. I'm like, oh my goodness. So she's
two peas in a pod.
Two peas in a pod. Now remember how they were on the FaceTime? And the way that they showed love, they were like giving each other the finger, like, oh, that's how we play show love.
That's weird.
Who does that? I would never say to any man, notice I said man, not boy, that was talking to me and be like, middle finger, and think like, oh, I'm cute. No, because
so childish.
It's what you allow, right? Yeah, absolutely not. Phil Foster Dog Mom says Riley's professional employment is a snooper. He can't separate personal from professional. Yeah, but that's true too. But his personality,
his personality is just very, very strange. It just feels more, just kind of not robotic, but it just feels like he has to be always right. You know, because I have seen people in my life, and I come across people in my life. They have to be always right. They can't be wrong.
Yeah, we know people like that. It just hit me. The light bulb just went off. Okay. Riley, part of his personality, with Phil Foster Dog Mom says, has a suspicious nature. So he's always like looking like over his shoulder, seeing what it is that you don't have to be doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? But it's just how he expresses love. I don't like, but there's still something about his energy, his character. There is clearly something from his past that's pushing him his future, but I don't know. Now, let me get back to Violet. So when she's sitting around her friends, she says her family knows Riley's coming, but she hasn't told her friends, because she said that her and her friends have had problems before. I'm like, you and all your friends have had problems before? What kind of friends are these that all your friends have problems? You're getting them together, and they're like, oh, well, guess my man is coming. They're like, who?
That's very strange because like you would at least tell one of your good friends if you're with somebody going like, hey, my man's coming. Is just like, hey, you want to meet him or whatever?
Yeah.
Like get to know him, tell him stuff about me, like what you know about me when it's just us, hanging out or whatever. But it just seems odd. Because I'm wondering, are the friends or the type of girls that would just like try to hit on the boyfriend?
You know what?
Violet goes to the bathroom or goes to pick up a drink. That's what I'm getting.
I didn't want to think it. I did think it though. It did cross my mind. I'm like, maybe this friend group. Oh God, how can I say this delicately? Maybe she was the first one to get on 90 Day Fiancé. Let's put it like that. Because that's the first thing I thought when she said the friends have had problems. They don't discuss things. And I'm like, what kind of problem? So it was like, first, did you think that, Tamika? I see your face.
Where are they getting these friend groups from?
Right? The friend groups,
the friend groups are acting they're too much. They're getting them off of Temu or Wish, or I don't know. But these friend groups is too much.
Yeah. Right. Wish.com. But one friend said
more like AliExpress, but I could digress.
Wow. One of the friends was they asked questions like, is he handsome? How long have you known him? Have you had any arguments? So she was answering the questions. But then one of the friends said, well, if you do get in arguments, that would make me sad. And I'm like, just that whole conversation was odd to me.
That's weird.
It was very weird. Like, even though you're not close with your friend group, so are they still considered your friends or just people you know?
Right.
Or acquaintances that are just
not even acquaintances. Just people you know. Like, for example, in my opinion. Okay, so you have friends who know your business. You have coworkers who know a little bit about your business to a point, 9 to 5. Then you have acquaintances who might, I don't know, be a little more than a friend, but right under coworker. But all your friends you don't care for, then they just become people you know. They just the people you happen to know.
But like I said, it just seemed a little
to the castmates. Yeah, that too. Castmates. Oh, you dropped off, Rory.
Or you have a fight with them. It's like,
there you go.
Why would you feel sad? You're not with the guy. Like, why are you feeling sad about a fight that's not about you?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm overthinking this.
I don't know. But Violet, apparently we know that Riley's going to find out something on upcoming show. So I wonder what it is because she's not being honest. And it happens real fast. Like next episode, like it's happening really fast. All right, so let's move to Misha and Nicola. You know what? Well, I'm gonna do this different. Because it's just so much. Let's see. Pick a number, ladies, 1 to 10.
7.
2.
What'd you say, Rory?
7.
Tamika?
2.
It was 10. Go ahead, Rory. Go ahead and get started.
Okay, Nicola reminds me of the Jewish version of Geno.
He's not Jewish though. He's Catholic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he reminds. Okay, let me rephrase that. He reminds me of the Catholic version of Geno.
Okay.
That
you think so?
Happens to be from Israel. Yeah, because there was one point I saw in one of the trailers, the way he was dancing, I'm like, oh my God, this is Geno. I thought it was Geno's twin, right? That tripped me out. And then when I saw what he looked like, I'm like, huh. And then he was like, oh, I'm 46. I live at home. I'm with my mom. My mom can't hear. And I'm like, oh boy. And then he's like, I'm a devoted Catholic, by the way. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be bad. And then he's like, well, I'm just hanging out with my friends. There was nothing else that when he had when he was having that confessional, that was just something like, oh, I have a job. I work at blah, 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 or whatever. Like,
no, he has a job.
Oh, he has a job. Okay.
He's a social media for the church. For the church. No, not influence. For the church. I guess. Yeah, that's what he does. He maintains the computers on the, to get people to get into the Catholic religion and to, that's what he wants the whole world to be following Jesus.
But the funny thing was that his friends knew about Misha, but his mom didn't know about Misha.
But his friend knew about Misha because the friend also is part of the Catholic group that they're both in. That's how they met. So apparently Nicola has met a lot of people through this website, through their church. That's how him and his friend met, who happened to know his business from back in the day. So there's little bits and pieces. I mean, he was talking with his accent was a little thick, but I did pick up on it. So I think he doesn't give me Geno vibes at all, but his energy, back to energy, he does give me pushy energy. He's giving me a little bit of I don't want to say aggressiveness, but he's giving me a little bit more machismo than he's presenting when he's talking to his friend. Like, my mother will never like her because, she's been divorced and all this other stuff. He's not giving me the, I turned my life over to Jesus. I believe in Jesus, but I'm talking about from Misha's point of view, she's like, comes across like this versus Nicola, even though he's following the religion, he still gives like, I'm the man, I wear the pants, and you better not say nothing.
Nicola's more like Catholic light. Let me explain. Because I've seen this before. Monday to Saturday, you do whatever you want. Like you could act a whole fool, do sins, whatever. Sunday, holier than thou. You can't do no wrong. So I will call him Catholic light. Because the thing is like when he's talking to his friends about Misha, he had the attitude of like, she has to listen to me. Like, she can't do anything else. Because when she said she quit her whole career and devoted herself to the church completely, no problem that you deal with the church, whatever. But you quit your whole job, you quit your whole career and everything else because of it. It's like, and I know Nicola would want her to move to Israel anyway, right?
Of course.
And stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
There was a few moments that like Nicola reminded me of just like one of the characters of Stranger Things, but I digress. It was just the way that he was talking about certain things.
Tamika?
Well, I absolutely agree with Cynthia's statement. Misha is a little Cocoa Puffs. To me.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew that she was quote unquote damaged goods. So why would he even attempt to or pursue that when he know that his mom is going to be like, absolutely not. And, he has that I am man, hear me roar type personality where it's going to be my way or like another Riley, my way or my way, where it's like, and then even when her daughters was talking, to her and saying, they're happy for their mom, but it's going to be weird because, we don't follow the religion like y'all do. And if we have a boy come over, is he going to say something? And she was like, well, he ain't my parent, so I got to listen to him. And then when you have, kids that are, I think it was 17 and 19, that's going to cause friction in the home. But she, I don't see a problem with her quitting her job and devoting herself to a religion. I know a lot of people that do that. Just think of a pastor that goes full time at the church and he quits his job. My pastor did that. But it's just like, if that's what floats her boat, then go for it. But I just think that she's definitely, she's an interesting character, to say the least.
She's definitely interesting. I have to agree with that part. I don't see anything wrong with quitting your job, either following the church, because people do it all the time, become a nun or monk or whatever. I don't see anything wrong with that. However, in Misha's point, that's good that she found religion and it's helping her in her day-to-day. That's awesome. But Misha also gives off high maintenance. Misha has her lips done. Misha seems like, well, we can see that her lips are done. Is giving that she may have had cosmetic surgery elsewhere. So how is she going to maintain this? Because Nicola doesn't give me the energy that he's into anything other than praying the rosary
and going fishing
and doing fishing. That's how they eat, right? Bread, fish, wine, and how they go live their life every day. So is she going to be willing to stop the because she gets high maintenance, right? Is she willing to stop that part of her life to be with someone who is 100%, in her words, more devout
than she is?
That could be an issue as well. And I think that's also too, going back to the daughters. You always have to, no matter how old your kids are.
Exactly.
You always put your kids in consideration because that's your family. Because he or she may not work out, and just kind of like get the vibe. I mean, they could have their say, but still make a wise, rational decision for you. So
yeah, because Nicholas said something, and I found it very, very strange because he was like, because somebody asked him about Misha's daughters, how we would deal with Misha's daughters, right? He's like, well, I'll give him a stern lecture and talking to.
Nobody can be listening to that every day.
They're 17 and 19. One's gonna go off to college and one's gonna be almost done school. Or they'll just look at you going like, "Well, you're not my dad. Like, get on my face."
Yeah, but they're
not
not
more choice words, and they'll be like, "Get on my face."
Yeah, that too. But they're still not gonna. If their mom doesn't do that to them now with the way that she's following the religious lifestyle, they're not going to take that from somebody else. They already put it out there in the air with their mom. It was like, well, what happens if? So they already let her know in advance, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah.
Be bothered with this. So, okay, we'll have to see when she makes it there because she's determined that she's going to, get an annulment and everything else. I'm like, you didn't figure it out before you went over? Like, you. Like, where's your mindset from? I'm like, just because you follow a different path don't mean that things still aren't the same. I'm just, I don't know. People, they're so different on these shows. It's like, where their thought process come from? All right, so the Peace de Resistance. Now, since we started with you, Rory, last time, we're going to start with Tamika this time. You can start with Geno and Jasmine. Let me say it before you calm your nerves. And everybody else, before you calm your nerves or get your blood pressure worked out, whichever is going to work out for you. The apartment they went to was very nice. I was like, oh, this is nice, Geno. Look, you're paying $3,000, as my kids say, $3,000 for. Look, that's nice. And then when Jasmine was like, oh, look out there. That's where the rich people live. They're now my neighbors. They made that island just for them. I was like, okay. And then when we seen her sister, and then the dog was happy to see him. So like you said, like, where's the boys? But this just, oh, and let me say one more thing before you get started. With the peeling of the vegetables, things like that. Listen, I'm an excellent cook. That's my real calling. I've been cooking from scratch since I was 9 years old. Okay, everything from scratch. But sometimes I don't feel like pulling out the peeler, and I will use a knife because I can do that. Geno needed a peeler and a cutting board. He's never used like a regular nothing to cut something up. Is he that bougie? Is he? And then also, Geno, just get you a sleeping bonnet and stop wearing them hats to bed. But go ahead, Tamika. Go ahead.
That whole, I don't have the right utensils. I'm like, how did he put it? He didn't have the right cooking utensils or something. He said it about 5 times. I almost wanted to play a drinking game at work because he just kept saying.
A peeler.
Yeah, he needed a peeler and a cutting board.
A peeler and a cutting board.
And so, okay, and I get it,
Plates, me knives, because
I get it. He don't know how to cut it without a peeler. Okay, it took me a minute to learn how to cut without a peeler as well, but I know how to do it. I just take my time. But it's just like, dude, it's not that serious. And then she is a whiny brat. She just started crying. I just put it check for hair. I'm just like, girl, if you don't shut your mouth. I know I'm looking for tissue too. Wait. Here's seriously. And then, I was just like, what's the sister in all of this? Why y'all fussing and fighting?
And business. Listen, if I was a sister, I wouldn't have came out either because I know how my sister is.
and so she was like, so we gonna order out? I'm like, so you ain't cooking food? Y'all got all this food over here and you ain't cooking? Because he didn't want to cut the potatoes and the carrots. just cook. It's not that serious. And then as far as getting on the bed with the outside clothes, everybody let me think. People that don't have melanin in their skin, all they just
Well,
never mind.
we're not
Never mind. Never mind. You know what? It was just I was just like, okay, yeah. And then when he took his bag and went into the bathroom and closed the door, I'm just like, wow, you're just not gonna change in front of her, and she needs to be on like a Love Island or something.
She needs to be on OnlyFans.
Or only something, because I'm just like, he just not that into you, sis. Because y'all paying for this Airbnb, because that's an Airbnb because it was furnished. Let's be clear.
Mm-hmm.
That's an Airbnb or verbal, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I just never.
All right, I might.
Rory.
But what's the like? Oh, let me change my sleeping hat. And he put on a baseball hat. I was like, what? Who sleeps in a hat to bed?
I'm gonna send him a bonnet.
That's what I'm saying. He needs a bonnet. It's not like he fell asleep on the sofa watching TV, had his hat on. Me personally, hat on in the house. That's not what you do. I didn't grow up like that. You got to take your hat off in the house. But if you did. But you definitely don't go to bed with that on. And did you shower first? Or you just change your clothes and put on a different hat? I'm just asking.
Wait a minute. Really quick, Roy. Hold on, really quick. You know what he remind me of? JJ from Good Times with that blue hat on. Remember he used to go to bed with that blue hat on?
Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Go ahead.
All right. The chef in me. Okay. So that chef knife was extra large, and the way he was holding it, he would slice a finger off. Okay.
Well, I'm sure he didn't have to use that big machete knife. He could have got a small. If he knew how to,
he could have got a paring knife and just use your thumb to have the knife in one hand and use your thumb to guide with the potato. Because that's what I had to do at a golf course. I had to do 50 baby potatoes. I couldn't feel my hand for 3 days. So no, it was no homework, but still. And at the same time, if he was so concerned that there was no peeler inside the bloody place, okay, or no cutting board, you could go to the closest convenience store or whatever store to get either one. It's less than $10. Like, baby, it's not that bad.
No,
he just get a plate.
He needed an excuse, and like I said, if he really wanted to participate in cutting stuff up, he would have participated. If he wasn't comfortable with a knife, he could ask what else he could help out with. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure if they were having plant-based meatballs and vegetables, maybe he could have made a salad.
Yeah.
Set the table.
At least that. And then when Jasmine had her whole temper tantrum and started crying on cue, I was just like, it's not that serious. Why are we crying on cue?
Right.
And then every time she had her professional interview, it was just like a different person, because she would have her long hair, she would have her yellow dress, she would have her tatas hanging out, and it's just like, that's one outfit. Another outfit is another, like that floral dress where she had decided to not wear no bra. It was a mess. But
yeah,
what killed me and what caught me screaming at the TV and wanted to go get high and then come back was when Geno was like, I need to take a nap. If I rolled up in my mother's house and go to sleep on a bed with my shoes on and my street clothes, she would be like a Tasmanian devil, lift up the sheets and be like, what in the blue hell are you doing? Like, those are street clothes that you've been here, there, and everywhere. On buses, work, everything else. When you have your shoes on, you're walking everywhere. Whatever the dogs and stuff was in the grass, whatever, that's what you're carrying on to bed. So with that Airbnb, and it had white sheets, you already dirtied it up with the shoes.
Well, that just goes to show who grew up with manners and who didn't. Because clearly Geno didn't. I mean, anybody smallest common sense would know if you did happen to fall asleep or sit on the bed, because we can even sit on the bed with our street clothes on, period. But definitely have your shoes on the bed. Oh my goodness, is a no. So
because I thought when he carried his bag into the bathroom, I thought he had his like toiletries and he was going to have a shower, and then I realized I hear no water. I'm like, this fool did not have a shower. I'm like, you carried your stinking arse to the bed.
Yep. Honestly, I think that Geno low-key picked that fight.
Yeah.
He saw where he was living. He saw the money he was throwing out because he had like a little bit of conversation with Jasmine about that in the beginning. He already said before he got there that he isn't able to perform when he's stressed. Geno is nothing but stressed around Jasmine, so she can hang up any type of sexual anything with him because he'll never be ready because he can't.
Because the simple fact is just because she gives him anxiety.
Yeah, she does.
She gives him serious anxiety. He has to sleep with one eye open because he's not sure if this girl will try to stab him in his sleep or will try to poison him, like while they're having dinner. Because like for real, because the thing was he had more action with the goddamn dog humping his leg.
True.
You know, and he was out cold sleeping with his dirty self in that bed, and then Jasmine's trying to pet him like a cat, trying to just like use her nails on his face. I'm like, you were just touching food. The food's in underneath your nails and stuff, ma'am. Like
she don't care. Geno is, I think he's attracted to Jasmine to a point, but he's not. I think he's giving like he doesn't know how to get out the relationship. I think he feels like he's all the way in.
Yeah.
And can't get out. You know, he knows the out is the prenup. He knows the out is just saying no to the visa, but I think he feels like he's invested so much cash.
Yeah, and plus he already started the visa process anyway. So
you don't have to continue it though. You don't.
You can stop it.
Yeah.
Oh, you can stop it. Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to, girl. You don't have to. Once you know for them for 10 years, so he can stop at any time. But Jasmine, I think that she sees the money, what he could provide, and the life in America. And it's not gonna work out. Plus sex. She leads with sex.
Yes.
That's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Because Geno's cousin actually said, he's like, anytime Jasmine will show her boobies, it's Geno turns into jelly.
Well, I think that's Geno. I think that's probably, some guys like certain things. I think that's Geno's thing. I think he
loves it. No, actually, Geno's family members actually did agree. It's just like every time like Jasmine shows her boobs or whatever the situation is, like you turn into jelly and you can't defend yourself, right? Well, because all the cousins were asking about the prenup and everything else. But he's so far in and he gave her so much money and she wanted hair extensions from the US to go to Panama, which was $500 a bag. And she wanted 5 bags. And I'm like, yeah, that's over $1,500. So I think I counted it up with the last blogger I talked to, and I'm like, yeah, that's like way over $1,500. And then to ship it down there and everything else is not cheap.
It's the price of the hair and then with the install too, so it's way more money than that. But guess what? Yeah. The final thing. Do we feel sorry for Geno?
No. So let me say real quick. So Geno lived up the street basically. So the hair salon is in Ann Arbor. Okay. And I was like, oh, I should go past here. I did look on their website, and they do have a WOC working there, if you know what I mean. So I'm just gonna go in there and get like see if I can get a little free consultation. Jesus. You know me and my stalker's behavior. And then the funny thing is, let her spend one good winter here, and I say good. Whereas
I know
it's where the highest 10 degrees. The highest 10 degrees, and we got a couple inches of snow out there. She gonna be like Natalie when she was living in Sequim, Washington, and she gonna be like, oh no, I can't stand this winter. So because
Tamika, let her go through the craziest snowstorms that we had. From Toronto going straight through to
one
Michigan,
good winter
where you had to literally hike
over snowbanks because I nearly fell in a couple. When she has to hike in a snowbank and she can't wear high heels and she has to wear boots, wear her coat, wear her hat, everything, wear the layers, I will dare her to try to climb over a snowbank when you have the snow up to your thighs. When you're 5 foot high.
I'm not even from Panama. I'm not coming to Michigan or Canada for no type of winter. Girl, unclutch your pearls. Listen, I'm a desert dweller. There's no such thing as 10 degrees. If it drops to 69, we have sweaters on in the heat because we're acclimated to being so hot. But 10 degrees, I don't even know what. Oh my God, I would start crying. I
wanted to survive one good
thank you.
Arctic freeze winter.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I dare
10 degrees, they closing schools. You know, we get 6 inches of snow, they closing schools.
Oh, there's snow here.
I don't know that life. Phil Foster Dog moved to Detroit, moved to Chicago, or listen. Listen, I see it on the news. Snow is really pretty. Snow is beautiful.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
However,
try hiking in it.
Listen.
Sorry.
Come on. Listen, you come up here one good winter. I will put you up in a hotel, everything, and take you around Detroit so you can experience one good winter. Nope. You got to in your lifetime. See the snow.
I do not.
Yeah.
No, thank you. No,
all you got to do is get here. I'll put you up. Listen, I'm an Embassy Suites. I'll put you up in Embassy Suites, get you a car, everything. Come on.
We don't even like driving in the rain. Why would I come to the snow? It rains like maybe 50 days a year here. So next week's episode.
I got you.
But if y'all come out west, I got you. You come out west. You come out west of the sun.
I'm coming. I'm getting there.
Okay. All right. So that was the end of this episode. I don't feel sorry for Geno. Phil Foster Dog Mom says I'm sorry, I don't know if you're here. I apologize. Feel sorry for Geno. I think he's on the spectrum. I mean, he could be, but I still don't feel sorry for Geno.
I don't feel sorry for him. He knew he bought that. He bought the cooch. He bought that because when he was dropping major bands, because all of a sudden she got her face done, she got her boobs done, she got the coochie tight,
she got teeth done, she got her teeth done, she got everything. Her hair. She's his Barbie. She's his Barbie. So let him his Barbie. All right. So
she's the Barbie that he doesn't want to have sex with.
There it is. Next week's episode, we're going to meet Christina and Cleo. I did talk about them, but I'll put the banner back up for who they are. Yeah. See real quick.
She's on the spec. She's something. She has ADD or ADHD and.
Sis.
I heard she had an anxiety, but I
something.
Well, she has autism and she's
autism. Yeah, autism. And she's a trans woman.
Cis.
Yeah.
A cis.
I'm not exactly sure the definition of cis, but maybe I'll have it next week. Here we go. Christian and Cleo. Cleo is 32. Christian is 30 from Dallas. So he only he prefers cis women, but this lady Cleo's cis, autistic, and doesn't seem like they're going to be on the show very long either, because it doesn't seem like they're matching at all. And let's see, we have David finally making it to the Philippines with Sheila. I'm hoping they work out.
I think they will work out because she genuinely loves him, though.
Yeah.
Well, he generally loves her. We really can't speak for the people that's already over there that wants to come over here. But yeah. Okay. And then Razvan introducing Amanda to a music producer. And then Amanda picks up on the fact that her name was being called a lot. And Amanda says, so what was that about? And the producer said, like, is she the jealous type? So apparently Razvan already has his ticket ready to go whenever he get that tourist visa, you know?
Yep.
Riley's going to meet Violet. And that's where what you said earlier, Tamika, where she said that she's going to be busy tomorrow when he said what we have going on. And Riley's like, what do you mean? I came here to see you. You're busy. So, and then Gina's asking Jasmine about that prenup. And you already know what's coming after that.
Right.
Hurricane Jasmine in the building.
Did I say Did I say another name? Did I say Jasmine? Geno Jasmine? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just said Hurricane Jasmine is in the building.
Oh,
She will lose her mind.
she's already lost her mind, and none changed. He just came home for a little bit, and now he's back, and it's the same drama. They just hit the comma continue button. So, all right. So, go ahead.
I just think that like I don't think they're gonna last. I'm surprised they lasted this long, but I think they're getting close to the end because he doesn't even want to be intimate with her at all. She's trying everything. When she picked him up from the airport, she's like, "Hey, I'm not wearing no bra. You want to feel?" He's like, "No."
Yeah.
I'm like, turning 5 years old. Okay.
I think the relationship been over. I just think that maybe the 90-day check is calling their name, and that's why they're still on the show because they don't match.
I think she did mess with the ex that lives in the same building.
Ooh, we're gonna find out. So, all right. So, programming notes. So, 90-Day Love in Paradise is tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So, pre-recorded videos. I'm going to be filming in a little bit. That'll be out tomorrow morning at 7:05 Eastern Standard Time. Love in Paradise.
Sounds good.
Scott and his Colombian girlfriend, which I think Scott has his nerve. It depends on the show. If the show is like really scandalous and Lydia and Nicole find out, I might be live. If not, it'll be a video.
I think they will find out because that Colombian girlfriend, she had just like one of those smiles of just like, "Ooh, I'm gonna get me some more money" type of smile.
Well, she don't got to worry about it. Scott's gonna send it regardless. And then Match Me Abroad will be out on Wednesday. So we have tomorrow and Wednesday. So look out for those if you're following. And then live Thursday for Married at First Sight reunion part 1.
Cool.
If you watch,
I may be on. I'll be in Indiana. Is there anybody in Indiana I need to go see?
I don't know.
I'll be
in Indiana. Well, enjoy your trip. Be safe.
Be safe, Tamika. Have fun.
All righty.
Catch you on the next one. So thank you, ladies. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for joining me to talk about 90 Day. You always make it fun. I appreciate it.
And I just want to shout out, thank you, Sass. Thank you for being up in this chat. It was a pleasant surprise. So thank you, Sass.
Sass has been a supporter of the show when we had like 100 subscribers. So Sass and Millennial Mom go back a minute. So thank you, Sass, for joining. Appreciate you. So
because I see Sass when she does like the Foolery Friday and the other videos. So that's why I was surprised to see her here. So
yeah, she does
shout out to
Sass. Love After Lockup, and sometimes she talks about before the 90 days too when she gets a minute. So, yeah, because she's a busy lady.
Go look her up.
Yep, Sass Scales on YouTube. So, all right. Thank you so much for joining, ladies. I appreciate you and everyone in the chat.
Bye.
Good night.
Night.